So before we even start the video, I want to get this very important piece of info out of the way. If you want to buy a Quest 2 or are looking into it but don't know that you have to use a Facebook account yet, you might not want one. You have to use a Facebook account to buy games and use your Quest at all. So if you don't want to make a Facebook account and you don't trust Facebook and all that stuff, I completely understand. You can click off the video right now. But for those people like me who just don't quite care as much, we can get right into it. The Oculus Quest 2 is Oculus's second ever fully standalone VR headset in 6 Degrees of Freedom, meaning it's the first real gaming headset that doesn't need a PC to power it. The original Oculus Quest was super duper successful. It sold like wildfire. You couldn't find it in stock. So can the Quest 2 live up to that hype? And is it worth your money? So being that the system is fully standalone, it has a charger. Obviously, you have to charge the thing. The original Quest came with this nice USB-C to USB-C charger that was 3 meters long, which is plenty long to play VR while you're plugged in. And the end is angled like this, that way you can plug it into the headset without it like poking out. It would be streaming down, which would be safer on the wire. The Quest 2 has neither of these. It's a very short cable with no angled ends. So while it is disappointing that this is one of the things they cheaped out on to get the price so low, you can always just buy another cable. They're not too expensive. You can get probably a 3-meter cable for like $10 on Amazon. So I've seen a few reviews and none of them have mentioned the fact that the port has been rotated. So now instead of the angled end pointing down or up, it points either left or right. Nothing's like actually wrong with the cord though. It works just fine. The Quest 2 also removes one of the headphone jacks from the headset. There used to be one on each side. Now there's only one on the left next to the charging port. Alright, moving on. So now let's move on to the head strap, and it's complete shit. The Quest 1 used this kind of nice rubbery material, while the Quest 2 has this soft fabric one that's just so much cheaper. It like cuts into my ears as well, doesn't fit on the back of your head as well. Now just like the strap, the face cover is also complete dog shit. It's just as bad, if not worse, than the strap. It's like a microfoam padding material, kind of like a spongy, soft, whatever. And it's nothing like the one on the Quest 1. However, you can upgrade the face cover, and unlike the Quest 1, you can actually remove the strap on the Quest 2 to buy Oculus's official upgrade called the Elite Strap or the Elite Battery Strap. Also, VR Cover makes a replacement face cover. You can buy it directly from Oculus's website, and I highly suggest you do so. It is made of pleather, and it is so much more comfortable. But I can't say the same about the Elite Strap. There have been a lot of reported cases, like over 40 or 50, of people's head straps breaking around the ears, like where it passes by above your ears. So if you do buy it, definitely buy it with caution and take a lot of care of it. I haven't had mine break personally. Hey, it's Pocket from the future. 2 updates on the head strap thing. 1, mine has broken, but not in the same spot as everyone else, and I don't exactly remember what happened. It's probably user error. It's right here next to like, you'll see on screen. But yeah, I don't think that's actually Oculus's fault. This also doesn't really seem to be happening to battery straps. It seems to be more of like a batch issue, but Facebook is actually stopping orders. So if you ordered one, you may have gotten an email saying, hey, we're not sending it to you. Do you want a refund, or do you just want to take it anyway with the risk? This either means they've gotten too many complaints or they've recognized an issue. So that's good, I guess. Anyway, moving on with the video. It's just something to note. I mean, honestly, just give it like 2 or 3 more weeks and there's going to be hundreds of straps by third-party companies anyway. So I know it sounds like I hate the Quest 2 so far, but the rest of this video for the most part is going to be positive. I do have a lot of good things to say about this headset, and I definitely think it's an upgrade over the Quest 1. Let's start with arguably the Quest 2's best quality, its screen. So from the Quest 1, we're going from 1440p per eye to nearly 2K per eye at 1832 by 1920. We're also going from 72 Hz to 90, with the FOV unfortunately remaining the same, around 90. The upgrade in screen clarity is absolutely enormous, especially whenever watching stuff like movies or YouTube or any kind of media. It's very, very clear compared to before. Reading text and doing stuff like aiming down sights and trying to snipe someone from very far away in an FPS will be so much easier because those small details will be a lot clearer. However, on top of everything that I've mentioned, they changed the screen technology, so it is no longer an OLED panel. Rather, it is now an LCD panel. This means the black levels on the Quest 2 are significantly worse than the black levels on the Quest 1. Now, having that visual clarity is by far worth it, especially like after using my Quest for around a week or two. I don't even notice the black levels barely anymore. Like it's not even that big of a deal. But it's definitely very noticeable at first, and it is a very unfortunate downgrade. I actually put my Quest 1 on yesterday for the first time since I received my Quest 2, and was very shocked to see how much worse the black levels are on the Quest 2, but I was also very shocked to see just how bad Saints and Sinners look compared to the Quest 2, so let's talk about power. Not only did Saints and Sinners look better because the screen is better, but it also looked a lot better because a lot of games are being upgraded for the Quest 2 to take advantage of its new hardware. The Quest 1 had a Snapdragon 835, which is a mobile processor mostly used in phones. But when the Quest 1 launched, the 835 wasn't even the newest processor, it was actually 2 generations behind. So the new Quest 2 has the XR2, which is the most powerful Qualcomm chip that is out right now. The chart on the screen shows just how much more powerful the XR2 is over the 835, so of course games are going to look and run a whole lot better on this thing, especially with games like Saints and Sinners, Arizona Sunshine, and Rec Room already receiving updates to make the games look and run better on the Quest 2. Just know that a better screen and more power output means less battery, so the Quest 2 only averages around 2-ish hours of battery, which isn't great, but it's good enough, I guess. So with power out of the way, let's move on to comfort. Despite what I previously said, I still think the Quest 2 out of the box is better than the Quest 1, which isn't saying much to be honest. The Quest 1 was quite uncomfortable and front heavy and wasn't very good for extended play sessions, but the Quest 2 is 70 grams lighter, and the more you play, the more you slowly start to realize it's weighing on your face a whole lot less. The lighter headset and better weight distribution help a lot more than you'd actually think. Putting this thing on feels so much better. It'll definitely be better over extended play sessions, especially if you upgrade the faceplate or the head strap, which is just something you probably should do. Now, I have quite big hands, so you'd think for someone like me, the new bigger controllers on the Quest 2 would be great, because the Quest 1 controllers are actually quite small, but I would actually prefer the smaller size of the Quest 1 over the Quest 2. Now, I'm in the minority here. A lot of people prefer the Quest 2 controllers, but for me, the Quest 1 controllers just feel a little bit less like controllers. So whenever you're in VR, the smaller, less noticeable controllers slightly add to the immersion. It isn't really that big of a difference. It's just something I figured I'd note anyway. Another thing that has been improved is the battery life, and oh my god, is the battery life so much better. The Quest 1 controllers lasted all of around 5 nanoseconds. It was complete shit. In all honesty, they lasted like maybe a few days. The Quest 2 controllers I've had since October 13th, which is the day the Quest came out. I have used it every single day since today, which is October 31st. And they finally died last night. They last forever. It's great. It's a giant improvement. Now, the Quest 2 has inside-out tracking like the 1, meaning the cameras on the Quest track the controllers and stuff, and it works 100% fine. I've had no issues with it dropping the connection or my controllers flying off, so as for that, tracking is 100% fine. So I think that about wraps everything up. Should you buy a Quest 2? That's what everyone wants to know. And there's different answers for different people. If you have a Quest 1, maybe wait. The Quest 2 isn't an enormous upgrade. It's definitely an upgrade, but you might want to wait a little bit. Remember how earlier I said Rec Room has been upgraded for the Quest 2? It's been more than just upgraded. There's exclusive game modes now. Give it like 2 or 3 years and I can guarantee we'll start seeing more exclusives, maybe even games. So you might want to wait until that starts happening before you upgrade, because like I said, the Quest 1's still a very good system, and there are still things about that thing that is better than the Quest 2, like the screen with its black levels. Not the screen, just the black levels are better. But if you don't have a VR, should you get the Quest 2? Yes. Like, there's no argument. If you don't have any VR system and you want to hop in, the Quest 2 is fucking amazing, and I highly suggest you buy one. It is a great purchase. I'm very glad I have one. And I think the Quest 2 is a very important step for the future of VR. Standalone VR was already good with the Quest 1, but the Quest 2 proves it can get a whole lot better. And with the Quest 3 hopefully happening around maybe 5 to 6 years, I'm hoping not next year, yeah, we're gonna see some huge improvements. If the Quest 3 is released next year, I'm definitely gonna have a video complaining about that. That's gonna be a huge issue with me, but like I said, the Quest 2 is great. Go buy one if you want one. If you have a Quest 1, maybe wait. And that's the review. It's finally done. This took me way too long to make. Like, way too long. I've been working on this thing for like a week and a half now. But I hope the video was helpful, and I hope you all survive the rest of the year. Y'all have a great one.